So there's a lot of news going on, and so we're going to move to doing maybe 3 videos a day for a bit, just until I get through the huge backlog of stories that I have. So hopefully that's okay, and people are interested in some of the stuff I'm going to cover. So in this segment, we're going to be talking about the resignation, of Arlene Foster. So I was meant to talk about this, like the motion no confidence, then next thing you know, boom, she quit. So good thing I didn't do those other videos, huh? Would be a big waste of time. Anyways, Arlene Foster has announced her resignation as leader of the DUP and as Northern Ireland First Minister after an internal revolt. So most of this is down to Brexit and the Northern Ireland Protocol, but some of it is down to a few other things that are worth talking about. And for those of you who hang in there towards the end, we've got a clip of that idiot Andrew Bridgen talking about this. So we're going to watch that. So if you can make it that far, I'd really appreciate it, because the man's an idiot and we're going to knock him down a bit. So Miss Foster said she would step down as DUP leader on the 28th of May and as First Minister at the end of June. It comes as she was facing a revolt from among many of her party representatives. So I don't know a ton about Arlene Foster apart from the fact that she's a dinosaur and doesn't like certain types of people, like gay people, doesn't like abortion, etc. So if you guys know a lot more about Arlene Foster, then put it in the comments, and I'd like to find out more about Miss Foster. So more than 20 DUP Northern Ireland Assembly members and 4 MPs had signed a letter voicing no confidence in her leadership. She became leader of the party in 2015, so not... well, as far as Conservative governments go, I guess that this would be a while, but I don't think that's a ton of time. 6 years. Less than 6 years, I think. The following month, as leader of Stormont's largest party, she was appointed as First Minister of Northern Ireland because she had the largest party within Northern Ireland. So it was about 80% of the MLAs, the members of the Legislative Assembly, that have revolted against her. So 22 of the 27 DUP MLAs, which is pretty crazy, to be honest. And apparently some guy called Edwin Poots has put his name in the hat to be the next leader. So I know nothing about Edwin Poots apart from Poots is a really funny name. Poots. Yeah, so you can see she faced a mass revolt. Really, 80% of her party demanded a leadership change. Like, what? How did you mess up that badly? Miss Foster has endured a turbulent time as leader of the DUP and the fallout from Brexit, which the party supported. So, Brexit has consumed its own, as Andrew Adonis keeps pointing out. It's a bit embarrassing that, she's been hit by mirror force.
Your own attack will be your downfall. I activate mirror force.
He wanted Brexit to, have, more de-alignment from the Republic of Ireland. But instead, all that's happened is that Northern Ireland are closer aligned now than to the Republic of Ireland than they are to GB. A cow, I've mentioned it in a previous video, that a cow in GB is treated differently to a cow in Northern Ireland. That cow in Northern Ireland can go across, it might be able to go across the border depending on the rules about where its intended origins were. But it's got more rights than for export and consumption reasons than potentially a cow in GB. So Miss Foster, turbulent time. Has also been suggested recent changes to Northern Ireland's abortion laws and the commitment to implement an Irish Language Act were causing concerns with elected DUP representatives ahead of the New Year's Assembly. So you might be asking, what is the what is the Irish Language Act? So the Irish Language Act is proposed legislation in Northern Ireland that would give the Irish language equal status to English in the region, similar to that of the Welsh language in Wales. So I did not know this was an issue. And, this would further kind of give the Republic of Ireland not more of a say, but I guess more of a cultural or sort of, it depends what you put language into, but more of a kind of soft power advantage that, Irish is going to be more commonly spoken and going to be allowed to be used in probably legal work and legal papers. And so, this is good news. The use of more languages is always a good thing, so long as you know the other language and you don't need to translate it all the time. But, it's not having the Irish language having equivalency in England is good news in my opinion. But at the same time, you could imagine if you're a rabid DUP supporter. I know it's difficult, but just imagine it. You got to think that, oh no, this is the Republic of Ireland having more influence in a way over Northern Ireland. So yeah. So we got some analysis here from Gareth Gordon. He said it was inevitable, it was a question of time. She did not want to go, talking about Arlene Foster, and if there was a way she could have stayed, she would have stayed. But, when 80% of your party revolt against you, you got no chance. But I imagine she's pretty sad tonight. I know Arlene Foster well. She loved being party leader. She loved being First Minister. Sounds like she really enjoys having power. That's what it sounds like. The DUP at the minute look like a difficult party to lead because the DUP are going to have to figure out what they're about. I think that's it for this article. So we'll go on. She got a letter of no confidence. It was around 75%, but I think it's 80% in the end of her MLAs revolted against her. We have some really interesting analysis here from Lewis Goodall, who talks about some of the broader problems the DUP are facing. It's not just Brexit. Brexit is the predominant problem. Obviously, the Northern Ireland protocol, you can imagine, is causing a lot of problems amongst the people in the DUP because they are ardent unionists. And by being separated from GB, it does cause a kind of identity problem for them. But, you voted for Brexit. If you thought Brexit wasn't going to be like this, then I guess in 2016 you really didn't know what you were voting for, did you? So we'll jump to Lewis Goodall's analysis.
Start by saying that this has never happened before. The DUP are traditionally extremely disciplined party. There's never been a leadership contest before. We don't know absolutely certain there's going to be one now, but it seems very, very likely. A huge proportion, it seems, broken by the Belfast newsletter, a big proportion of the party's MPs and MLAs signing this letter of no confidence, both in Arlene Foster and her deputy, Nigel Dodds. I think several things have led to this. There is, of course, long-standing disenchantment with Arlene Foster over the Northern Irish Protocol, a sense that she was outplayed and outmanoeuvred during the Brexit negotiations. Also,
the thing is, she was outplayed, but the issue is that no one expected Boris Johnson to do what he did, which is to turn the backstop into a front stop. No one expected that. And so, yeah, Boris Johnson did outmaneuver Arlene Foster, and this is kind of on her. But the thing is, as soon as Boris Johnson won that majority in that general election in 2019, she was done. She had no chance because she had no more say anymore, unlike how she did under the Theresa May government.
So a vote where she abstained on gay conversion therapy.
So that's another one there, that the DUP aren't just battling against Brexit, but they're also battling against their kind of identity, which is dinosaurs. Like, they're against abortion. It sounds like she wants to support gay conversion therapy. Let's have a look at that.
Where she abstained on gay conversion therapy. In Stormont, also a vote where she abstained on gay conversion therapy.
So obviously, gay conversion therapy is a very bad thing. No one should be forced into those sorts of things. And clearly Arlene Foster abstained on the bill because she didn't know where to plant her flag. She didn't know whether she wanted to support gay conversion therapy or to ban it. Because you could imagine, being part of this Christian kind of lunatic party, you would want to keep gay conversion therapy, but you also look mad backward, and clearly she had no idea which one of those she wanted to be.
In Stormont this week rather brought things to a head as well. But talking to people in Belfast and reporting from there, as I've done a lot over this year and before, I think there's also a sense that this is an act of desperation to some extent from the DUP. They know that as a result of all of those things I've just been talking about, particularly the protocol, there is a hemorrhaging of support for the party on both ends of its coalition, both its working class loyalist base, some of whom we've seen taken to the streets over the past few weeks, or encouraging children in some cases to take to the streets.
That's a big burn. I rate Lewis Goodall for that. That's a burn.
And from its more middle-class base as well, in places like Belfast, generally supporting more and more the Alliance Party. So I think to some extent, this is an act of desperation to try and shore up, potentially get someone new in, potentially someone less damaged, implicated with the events of the last 5 years.
So yeah, I think he's right there, that Arlene Foster, the last few years have damaged her. She's got, essential Brexit all over her. And so they need someone new in. I don't know who they're going to bring in. I don't know a lot about the DUP, unfortunately. But what we can tell from this is that the DUP have been struggling for an identity for a while, and obviously the people within the party see the writing on the wall that they need a new a new identity, I guess, and they're losing middle class voters by the sounds of things to the Alliance Party. And you know, I don't know which direction they go in. Do they try and chase those middle class voters, or do they go more hardline and try and chase the unionists and push more to support the unionists who have, you know, rioted recently and caused other problems within Northern Ireland? That I don't know. But we'll jump to our last bit, which is Lewis Goodall is the guy we just watched now. This is going to Andrew Bridgen. That's me being dumb. But yes, we're going to jump to this clip. It's very painful to watch how stupid this man is. But, you know, it's not a surprise, really.
Ultimately, I think we're being stitched up by the European Union. And
interesting. Let's see where he goes with this.
It's had a very bad effect on the DUP, quite rightly. There's got to be a solution to this. And I'm delighted that Lord Frost has stopped on, because clearly we've got unfinished business with the European Union.
But I thought Brexit was done. I thought that's what 2019 was about, get Brexit done. What do you mean we have unfinished business? That's not what you were telling me in 2019.
And they might find that they need us rather more than they might want to in the future, once we've vaccinated and we've got massive supplies of vaccine which we can distribute around the world.
I mean, that's great and all, but we were reliant on exports of the vaccine from the EU. You can see there's a massive slump here of the vaccine rollout. So, Bridgen, maybe we actually need them a bit more than you think, pal. Maybe.
Right, but you're blaming the EU for their interpretation. Wasn't it always clear that there was going to be a problem with a border down the Irish Sea and checks between Great Britain and Northern Ireland being at the heart of this? And Arlene Foster has taken the fall for it.
She has, and that is very unfortunate. But this is a situation that's going to have to be... The current position with the interpretation of the Northern Ireland Protocol is untenable.
Where are the EU misinterpreting this? Because this is the second time, I think, this week I've heard the statement of the EU misinterpreting the Northern Ireland Protocol. Surely, if you were worried about misinterpretations, you would have written things more clearly. From what I've read, the EU haven't done a such thing. There is a complaints mechanism within the Northern Ireland Protocol. Why don't you use that, Mr. Bridgen? Huh?
I mean, it says in the agreement they'll find pragmatic solutions. And you've got the joint committee that should be ruling on these matters. And it's clear that that function of the trade agreement and the future partnership is not functioning.
Well, when one side keeps taking unilateral action, I can imagine the other side not wanting to find pragmatic solutions, because one side is stomping all over the Northern Ireland Protocol. Why would you want to help this side when it's not really in your interest, violence aside, in Northern Ireland, to help Britain out of the mess that we're in, that you, Bridgen, helped us get into? Because let's not forget here, as the doc points out, Dr. Jennifer Cassidy points out, you know, Bridgen voted for this protocol, his government negotiated and agreed with it, and it purely arose due to Brexit. So, you know, this man full of nonsense, Bridgen.
And that's down to a lack of goodwill on the EU side.
Right.
It's no, it's not. It's not down to a lack of goodwill on the EU side. We're taking unilateral action. I don't understand how thick this person is, and I don't understand why the host or anyone else is not pushing back against this. Do you need me to jump on Politics Live? Do you want me to jump on? Because I will do it if you invite me, because this man's full of lies.
Really very bitter about the way that we've left the European Union, and they're upset with the fact that we're rolling out the vaccine programme far faster than they are.
You mean this vaccine programme that has stumbled over the last week? Yeah, sick one, bro.
And they're getting the political backlash that they're not used to from their own populace in the EU.
Right.
I mean, yeah, they are getting backlash, but are you saying that they're not used to it when France has riots like all the time? You know, clearly, are you trying to argue like certain countries aren't used to protests and riots? Because if you are, you're an idiot, and clearly you know nothing about Europe. Because although, you know, the French are only one country within the EU, we saw protests and other things from people within Germany and other countries. So, you know, this argument that, oh, you know, now they're getting a bit of backlash and they're showing bad will because the EU countries have never experienced a protest before. Like, Andrew Bridgen is just, he's a special kind of stupid, isn't he? He's a very special kind of stupid. But in conclusion, what can we learn from this video? Arlene Foster is out. You know, it wasn't, you know, it was down to a few different things. Her stance on gay conversion therapy, the tanking support of the DUP, but mainly it's down to Brexit and the Northern Ireland Protocol. what happened is she wanted Northern Ireland to be more of a part of GB than it was the Republic of Ireland. And what happened was Northern Ireland is closer to the Republic of Ireland now, in terms of trade-wise and legislatively, than it is to GB. So congratulations, Arlene Foster, you played yourself. Lewis Goodall, decent analysis from him. Big shouts out to him. And Andrew Bridgen's a massive idiot. Anyways, let me know what you think in the comments below. Like, comment, share, subscribe, and hopefully I'll see you in the next one.